DaniB here. I'm in the Blademaster Skate Lab, and today I'm going to walk you through general maintenance on your big skate sharpeners. Now, depending on your location, you may have a single, double, or triple station skate sharpener. Now, they come in various forms, and depending on its age, the location of these heads may vary. But the general rule for maintenance pretty well remains the same. First thing we're going to do when checking the finishing head is check for any type of unusual noise or sound, vibrations, and the like, okay? So I'm going to turn on that station. You should hear a nice, crisp, clean sound. Now, if there are noises with the finishing wheel already installed, what we're going to do is we're going to remove the face guard and wheel guard, okay? By backing out the set screws, pulling the guard towards myself, and we're going to take off the wheel to see if the sound is following the spindle or the wheel in itself. Okay, so using a Tommy bar and grinding wheel wrench, you're going to go ahead and back out the wheel nut. Okay, you're gonna make sure that the wheel nut is not stripped, that it has all of its ridges. This grinding wheel nut is very important and will cause vibration if you end up with flat spots on the inside of the screw in itself, okay? So you're gonna go ahead and replace it in the event that it is damaged. Then I'm gonna take off this wheel washer and wheel, pulling it towards myself. Remove my Tommy bar, and then I'm going to turn on the head again. The noise is still consistent even after removing the wheel. Be sure to call into Blademaster tech support, and they'll walk you through next steps. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is I want to draw attention to the top plate and the face guard, okay? You want to make sure that the set screws that hold the wheel guard in place are not stripped. These are very important, especially, and I mean especially, if you do not ring test your grinding wheels, okay? If you do not ring test and for whatever reason that wheel explodes on you, because it has happened in the past, these wheel guards are going to protect you. So it's really important that they're tight and secure in place when you're actually using the finishing station. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and screw this back in. And she is nice and tight. Now, as the wheel gets smaller, you're going to be able to make adjustments to the face guard. Okay, again, here as well, you're going to make sure that those screws are not stripped and that you've got full movement in them, that they set nice and tight. As the wheel gets smaller, you can move your face guard up and back. The only thing we request is that you always have free movement of the wheel without the wheel on, okay? And that'll determine what depth you should have this grit deflector set at. All right, the next thing we're gonna look at is we wanna make sure that the dressing arms have full movement, okay? Right, so that the feed screw has full free-flowing movement. These can oxidize, so it's really important that this is nice and free and clear of debris. You don't got any buildup on any of the retaining rings that are there. We want to make sure that the point of entry of the dressing arms are clean and free of grit debris. So take a soft bristle paintbrush or shop towel. You're going to keep these areas clean so that you have free movement in your arms. It is very important that we keep those areas clean and free of grit, as what we tend to see, okay, is with time, operators will pull grit through the actual bearing, okay, and each head has 4 bearings. The problem with that is grit will eventually break the seal inside the bearings, and the bearings are not cheap. By keeping those areas clean of grit and debris, you're less likely to have to replace the bearings. You'll less likely see vibration in your finish. Okay, so by keeping the dressing arm clean, you should have free movement of the arms in itself, right? Be mindful of your diamond tip. You don't want to crush it. But you want to make sure that you have free movement up and down the radius arms, okay? That your radius arm tension screws are not loose. Okay, you can tighten these down if needed. They will eventually strip and wear, so just be mindful of these nuts here, okay? As well as the little dowels on the inside. They do eventually wear, and then you have to purchase a new dressing arm, okay? So just be mindful of that. The other piece I want to draw attention to is the set screw that holds in your diamond quill. You want to make sure that the inside bore that meets the diamond quill barrel isn't stripped and worn, okay? So if it is, again, you'll have to replace the whole arm. Okay, so you're gonna make sure that's nice and clean and that there's no wear marks, okay, on the dressing arm quill screw, right? If you pull out your diamond quill, okay, you're going to want to ensure that your knurled knob has free motion, okay, because you want to be able, this one's brand new, so it's a little tight, so you want to be able to rotate that diamond while you're dressing, right, because we want to keep that diamond tip as straight to the point as possible, okay, so just be mindful, always rotate your diamond in order to transpose it a true hollow, okay. Okay, so the next thing we're going to look at is the cross grind head and how it's functioning, okay? So the majority of you will have a cupped cross grind wheel. You should have free movement without the head on of that wheel to know that your guarding is in place. Never run this without the guarding in place, okay? Rule number 1, safety first, always. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to ensure that there's no unusual noise coming from the cross grind head. There should be no squealing coming from the head. If there is squealing, we'll go to the next step, okay? So you're gonna power down that station. Okay, so if the head was squealing while the wheel was on, okay, and you power down, you're gonna remove the 2 set screws holding in the face guard, okay? And you're gonna actually take off the cross grind wheel and run the head independent of the wheel. Okay, so if the head is still squealing after you've removed the wheel, you're going to call into customer service and get transferred into tech support so that they can assist you. The next thing we're going to check is the built-in cross grind dresser. So anyone that's purchased a machine within the last 10 years, a triple station specifically, will have a built-in cross grind dresser. Okay, so probably the most important part of this system is this little set screw here, okay? The reason why I say that is because when you back it out and you pull this unit towards you, okay, you're going to rotate down. This is actually what you use to lock this addressing assembly in place. Okay, if this is worn, I absolutely do not recommend that you run this built-in cross grind dresser. You have to have a nice, firm and secure locked in position of this set screw to be able to safely cross grind dress, okay, this wheel. Okay, so you're going to want free movement of the dressing arm. You're going to want to make sure that there are no flat spots in the diamond set screw, okay, not to be confused with the diamond quill that we have on the skate sharpening heads. This is a completely different assembly. Okay, so you're going to make sure there's no wear marks in the diamond set screw, okay, and that you've got full movement if you were to turn it, and that this dressing arm has full movement as well, okay. I'm going to rotate it into place and push it back and lock that whole assembly down into place.